This is how I understood the UK from my limited perspective. From the outside looking in, the UK seems to be a place of culture, history, and a touch of the unexpected. But here's the catch: I've never actually traveled there. And guess what? It seems like I'm not truly alone in this. Most of us form an impression based on anecdotes, things we've come across in the media, and many other things. But today, let me talk about my own experiences and what the UK felt like to me. And here is episode, I don't know, what episode is it? Of You and Me. Cue the intro. Touching down in the UK, specifically Heathrow Airport, it was a very fun experience. But at the same time, it was a little gray, the weather. A lot of, I don't know, Brits would agree that the weather there is not the best. But overall, the people there were very kind. They helped me out, and it was nice to be able to be exposed to a predominantly English-speaking environment. So that was nice. And navigating through the city was quite transparent. It was easy, not really hard. You had the tube, the buses, and yeah, it was actually quite nice. The one thing that was interesting though, how the buses or everything was shaped, it just feels very elongated. The homes. I'm used to either Canada or Korea, where it's either small and compact, Canada being wide, very spacious, but everything in the UK just seemed long, taller. The buses, the double-decker buses, the houses and everything, they just seem longer and just tall, which was very interesting to see. As a newcomer, I was hyper aware of my belongings. As soon as I came in, I just remembered to be in that I don't know, maybe from all the media where they would just tell you about pickpocketers all the time. I just kept my belongings close to me, made sure my wallet and phone were on me at all times. But for the most part, I just felt pretty safe. Nothing really egregious happened. I definitely think if you just applied some common sense, you won't get pickpocketed as much, like if you were to put your wallet in your front pocket rather than the back. If you just were conscientious of these little things, overall it's not bad at all. In the first few days of the UK, I made it aware. I made a conscientious effort to just get involved in more unique activities, or at least things that the England was famous for, which would be fish and chips, the alcohol, and a bunch of other stuff. So as soon as I came in the first day or the second day, after arriving, we went to some farm area where we picked our own vegetables. At the same time, vegetables and fruits. I was there with family, but I got to enjoy some really good fish and chips. Oh my gosh, it was just so, the quality and the amount that they gave you was just so much in comparison to Korea. While being on the farm as well, the weather, oh my gosh, it was hot as heck. Like I just, my girlfriend always tells me that in England the weather's usually gray, and so they get exposed to a lot of clouds, not really warm, not really cold. The weather's just mild. But when we went, it was just sunny every single day, and I was just burning. And so for the longest time, I just thought my girlfriend was lying to me. But overall, the thing about the UK that was nice is if you're under some shade, it just becomes immediately cool, which is not the case for Asia. If you're in Korea and it's hot, even if you're under a shade, it's still hot. And so that was a nice change. So yeah, I do have an interesting joke. Why do the British always carry a pencil? In case they need to draw a line in the queue. Now to continue, after the day of going to a farm, the next day right away we just immediately signed up for a gym. Me being me, I just like to stay healthy and fit. And let me just tell you that the gyms were just amazing. The amount of space, I just being in the UK just made me realize how cramped Korea really is. But I still like it. It has its own charms. Even here, as I'm in Korea, I still miss the UK. But as for work and stuff, Korea seems to be where I should be at the moment. But back to the story, I went to the gym, very spacious, and they had a pool. Oh my gosh, it's so hard to find a pool, sorry, again, in Korea. But being in the UK, it seems like it's just a normal, amenity, a normal thing that comes with a gym membership. And so instead of actually exercising, I just swam every day, just got that built up, and it was a very good experience. But I did have a unique experience there, being in the gym. After they have a sauna and steam room, and I decided to try out the facilities there. The steam room at the time was down, and so I decided to try out the sauna. When in the sauna, it was first packed. Eventually, it dwindled down to me and some other gentlemen. Let's just name them Fred. So Fred, being very talkative, would just constantly try to start a conversation with me. Me, being exposed to Korea for so long, you don't talk to anybody. When you're here, you don't say hello to people on the street. You don't engage in conversation in the saunas. If you're Korean, if you're a foreigner, typically they like to start a conversation. But for me, I don't interact with people. The subway, no one talks to each other. And so I'm just sitting there in the sauna at first by myself, and eventually this gentleman named Fred starts talking to me, and then just typical questions. Where am I from? What am I doing here? Kind of thing. And then, I would respond in kind. Eventually, I decided to ask a question. Which one's better, the sauna or the steam room? And I am not lying to you. Without asking for permission, he just does this action. He's like, reaches out from the top of my neck all the way down my back. He touches in a motion like this. And then he does this, rubbing from side to side. I'm not lying to you. This is honest. I'm telling you the truth. He told me that the steam room feels like this down my back, and then the sauna feels like this. And he's like, which one's better? And I'm like, oh, okay, all right. And I'm like, in my head, I'm just like, whoa, just got a free back massage. Didn't even ask for permission. Okay. And he continues to talk to me, and he's like, you know what, I really like you. Let me treat you out to dinner. And I'm like, oh, you want a restaurant? And he's like, no, my house. And then I'm like, let me run that by my partner, and I'll get back to you on that. And he's like, oh, okay. And he lets me go. Little did I know that he had other intentions in his mind. And so I just go to Alice, my girlfriend, and I'm just like, yo, the people in the UK are super nice. They just give me free back massages and stuff. It's awesome. And then she proceeds to tell me, like, that's not a back massage, babe. He had other things in mind. I'm like, what? No way. I couldn't believe it. Because it's realistically, this is my third day in the UK. Just the third day. Flew in one day, farm second, and gym third. And so I'm not gonna start a fight with someone. I'm so new to the country that I'm just like, oh, I just thought this was the way that they do things. But yeah, that was not the case. Very interesting. But on a side note, here's an interesting fact about the London Eye. The London Eye is one of the most iconic landmarks in the UK, but it was originally built to be a temporary structure. But due to its popularity, they decided to keep it up, and it still remains here to this day. But yes, that's an interesting fact. I did get to pass by it. It was very nice. Didn't get to ride it though. So after that gym encounter, it was just the beginning of my trip. And so a lot of things happened, which I'd love to share with you, but that's in a later video. In the meantime, this is part 1. Yes, if you guys are interested, I'll talk more about it later. Some things that happened, like a very beautiful wedding, the best wedding I've ever been to, and yeah, I just love the culture there. It really vibes with me. Oh, by the way, I invite you to be a part of this adventure. If you like my insights and my storytelling, please don't be afraid. Hit that like and the subscribe button, and be sure to tune in to future videos. Tap the notification bell and be a part of the Comma community. I would really love to have you a part of this group that's gonna grow. I'm gonna be more committed to this. Thank you. With that though, stay tuned. In the next episode, I will be sharing other experiences. Dive into the culture a little bit more, what I really liked about the UK, what I didn't like. But anyways, yeah, stay tuned and be sure to catch into the next video. Bye.